There we go. We move on to the fourth and final game here. And then we move on to Alex Pavone coming to us live from New York next. 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Buffalo Bills 11-6, 5-3 on the road at Kansas City Chiefs. 12-5, 7-2 at home at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. I can't wait to watch this football game. 40 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 4 miles per hour is the wind. This total opened up at 55, and interestingly enough, Pinnacle's dropped to the point to 54. Kansas City opening up as 2.5-point favorites. They're still 2.5 at Pinnacle, but a lot of other books have moved it to 2 or 1.5. Let's move over to the cash flow. We have 16,001 tickets in. 36% of the tickets are on the Bills, but 80% of the cash is on the Bills. Big bets have been moved on the Bills. Then you have 76% of tickets and 98% cash on the over. Yet Pinnacle has dropped to the point. Very, very, very interesting. Rematch of last year's AFC Championship game in which the Chiefs won 38-24. In Week 5 this year, the Bills rolled into Arrowhead and defeated them easily, 38-20. I'm going to talk about that game from a defensive Spagnuolo standpoint in a little bit, but let's keep rolling here with the Bills. They come in off a dominant 47-17 beatdown of the Patriots. And this isn't in my notes, but I can't help but think about when the Cowboys dominated Washington and came back and lost to Arizona. They played perfect football against their biggest rival. And now they've got to do it again at Arrowhead. And that's not going to be easy. And look, I'm not sitting here saying I'm taking the Chiefs. I just think this is a very difficult game to cap, and I can't wait to cap it with you guys. Buffalo became the first NFL team in the Super Bowl era to score on each of its 7 possessions. Score a touchdown in each of its 7 possessions that didn't end with a kneel down. Allen was so efficient, 480 yards on 51 snaps. Josh Allen, 21-25, 308 yards, 5 touchdowns, also ran 6 times for 66 yards. Dawson Knox had 5 receptions for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. Shout out to Clint, star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, who gave that as a spot Dawson Knox touchdown. I believe he got it at +210 as well. Stephon Diggs had 3 receptions for 60 yards. Devin Singletary ran 16 times for 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, and caught 3 passes for 13 yards. Their defense completely shut down the Pats. They put up 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits. Micah Hyde and Levi Wallace each had interceptions. The Bills... Now, this is a very interesting stat, and I don't know exactly what to do with it. But the Bills were 0-4 when the game was within 7 points at the 2-minute warning this year. All their wins came by enormous margin. They had the best point differential in the league at +194. It's just a very interesting piece because you can imagine that this game will be within 7 points of the 2-minute warning. Chiefs coming off an easy 42-21 win at home over the Steelers on wildcard weekend. Patrick Mahomes, 30 of 39 for 404 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, and ran 3 times for 29 yards. Travis Kelce caught 5 passes for 108 yards and a touchdown, even threw for a 2-yard touchdown. Demarcus Robinson caught 4 passes for 76 yards. Tyreek Hill, 5 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. And Jerick McKinnon looked really good. He ran 12 times for 61 yards, caught 6 passes for 81 yards and a touchdown. Now, the defense didn't have to do much to slow down Big Ben. He does that on his own. Chiefs had 2 sacks and 4 quarterback hits. Roethlisberger was 5 of 14 for 24 yards in the first half. Pittsburgh had 55 yards of total offense. Let's go back to that Week 5 loss. Spagnuolo didn't blitz Allen enough in that loss. You can imagine that he's going to do that a lot more. Now, when Allen was blitzed this year, he was 24th in completion rate at 45.4% and 14th in quarterback rating at 74. On the other hand, the Bills had 2 high safeties against the Chiefs, and it clearly bothered Mahomes. Everybody saw the film. Everybody started doing that against the Chiefs and Mahomes. And Mahomes is now much more comfortable handling the 2 high safeties. Kansas City secondary is a big problem. They allowed Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert to combine for 651 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. Now, Melvin Ingram changes the front 7, changes that defensive line enormously. And we saw the difference that he makes because he goes in the middle and Jones can then go on the outside, and that's where he's most effective. Chiefs have hit overs in 6 straight games, and the Bills have hit over in 5 of their last 7 games on the road. Find it very interesting that Pinnacle has dropped this a point. Bebsy, here you go. The final playoff game on the docket, Bills Chiefs. What a beauty this is going to be. Take it away.
Well, listen, I said this before the show, in that a lot of what I had said this year did end up coming true. My record was absolute dog shit. We know that. But a lot of what I had said at the start of the year has taken a while and then come true. And the Bills in the first round of the playoffs. Look, I'm not impressed about beating a rookie quarterback in the first round of the playoffs. I'm impressed at absolutely dominating a Bill Belichick defense. On the other side of the ball, look, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Been to the Super Bowl 2 seasons in a row. Andy Reid's an excellent coach. They're playing at Arrowhead, which is an incredibly difficult place to play in at the best of times. But Kansas City has been a little bit off all year. And even last week, playing the lowly Steelers, midway through the second quarter, they were still losing to this horrendous Steelers team. And the only reason that they weren't losing by more is because they were facing Big Ben. You will not get the same grace period from this Buffalo offense. So Kansas City has to start on time offensively to do this. And frankly, they didn't start on time for the season. They didn't start on time last week. There's just something not quite right about them. And as you mentioned, their secondary is very suspect. And I just don't know if they have the firepower, the juice, the want right now to beat this Buffalo Bills team. I really believe that Buffalo is just a fired up, nasty, well-balanced team. And I'm moving on Buffalo here. You're muted.
Moving on, Buffalo. Would you prefer the points in this situation, or would you like to take the plus money on the money line?
I think I'm gonna move on the plus money on the money line here. I just think this is Bills upset time.
Well, we have a plus 115 available at Pinnacle, and I will make sure that is the best available. But let's hook you up with the Bills. What a spectacular game this is going to be, and I can't wait to hear all the different cappers talk about it. I know you spent a lot of your life here, born and raised in the sticks, and the Bills are a big part of your youth, and now they could be the best team in the AFC. Please break down this Bills Chiefs spot. I can't wait to hear your breakdown.
What kind of an animal is Rob Bebenick to talk about the Music City Miracle and then log off? Why check to Dyson and then he's like, "I'll see you later." Get bent, Robbie Bebenick, you sick man. Look, I saw it at 1.5. Are there 1.5s available? I don't know.
There are 1.5s available. And the Pinnacle's still hanging at 2.5 with no fear.
I don't want to. Every time I'm about to say Chiefs, a box of Flutie Flakes pops into my head. I can't. I think I have to take the Chiefs, man. The Bills are playing. The Bills were put on a clinic last week. I just think we not overestimated the Pats, but Mac Jones is a rookie quarterback going on the road playing his first playoff game. I mean, the Bills got a roll early, big turnover. It was 7-0, big turnover in the end zone. They just rolled. They rolled, and they got the confidence. And then New England doesn't have that offense to get back into that game, and they crushed them. And I was happy because I said the Bills by 20. I wish I had the cojones to put it in. I didn't, but the Bills. Now they're playing the Chiefs, and they beat the Chiefs already, right? At home. Soundly. Okay, it was soundly, but
38-20.
Early in the season, the Chiefs were still trying to figure out. The Chiefs are so good that they know that they could get behind in the season and still win that division handily. I believe they went for it on 4th and 8 on their own 40 or something like that. I might be incorrect on exactly what it was, but it was early in the game. They were going for it on 4th down. They were they were taking chances and trying to figure out who they were as a football team at that point of the season. So to look at that game and go, oh yeah, they beat them then, they're going to beat them now. Like, I don't know if that's a fair assessment, but I just think that this is just too many people jumping on the Bills and me being a contrarian. This is my contrarian pick. And it's just, if you're going to just jump on the Bills, go, oh, the Bills are going to beat this team. And I'm like, but it's the Chiefs. It's a team that's been in the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, won the Super Bowl, lost last year. And they had a lot of offensive line injuries is one of the reasons that they didn't repeat as champions, but they look healthy. The defense looks good. I know Buffalo, this is a close game. Obviously the line's 2.5 and then it went down to 1.5. And now it's, it's fluctuating between 2.5 and 1.5. Obviously the books know this is going to be a close game. But I just feel like the Bills are the Chiefs are still unreal. They're still an unbelievable team, and White is not playing, correct?
No, Trey White done.
That's a huge loss. That's a huge loss. That guy is a terrific player in the secondary, and obviously we know the weapons. And who's this running back that the Chiefs have? That this kid's come out of he's come out of nowhere.
Jerick McKinnon.
He's explosive. Like, he's another weapon where you're like, oh my God. It didn't just look last week like they flipped the switch on the Steelers. They're like, okay, no more joking around, and boom. And there was 21 points in 3 minutes. I'm not saying that, the Bills could upset them for sure, but I'm going to take a healthy Chiefs team that's rolling right now at essentially a pick 'em. At 1.5, I'm going to take the Chiefs. Also, again, back to me overthinking stuff. I feel like the Bills are going to be in a lot of teasers, especially at 2.5, of course, but at 1.5, teased up to 7.5. I could see a lot of people teasing the pack down, Bills up. That's what I think, and I could also see the Chiefs winning by 10. So it's going to be I wouldn't roll against the Chiefs right now. I just think their defense is playing real well, and at a pick 'em, I'm taking Mahomes. So
I completely get it. For me, it comes down to I cannot back a team a week after they played perfect football at home against their biggest rival. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, I get it, man. They're people are high on the Bills, and that the confidence they have in the Bills, I get. But you got to look at who they're playing on the other side of the football. It's the Chiefs. It's still the Chiefs. You're talking like they're playing, a middle of the pack team. Oh yeah, they're gonna win. They're going to the AFC Championship. It's the Chiefs, buddy. Sorry.
It wouldn't surprise me if we see -1s and pick'ems when it comes to kickoff. In saying that, I don't know if I can take the Chiefs, but
no, I get it.
I'm not going to bet the Bills after playing perfect football. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
A lot of things are going to change for me, probably by Sunday or Saturday and Sunday. But right now, these are my looks, and I'm going to put them in. I'm not going to come on the show and not bet everything. I mean, that would just be foolish. Look at these curtains, Jimmy, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
They're absolutely gorgeous. The final game on the card, and what looks to be the most exciting an AFC battle between the Bills and the Chiefs. Pete, take it away.
Bills and Chiefs, another one. This one looks like, to my eye, very coin flippy, but there's a couple of props that I was thinking about when they come out. We'll see what the odds are. First of all, I was thinking about Travis Kelce over yardage prop again. And I was thinking that maybe, depending on what the odds are, Mahomes to throw an interception, right? Because obviously Buffalo has an excellent defense, and they also have a defense that is set up to give Mahomes is ideally constructed to to give Mahomes as much of a problem as it's possible to give him, which is getting pressure on him without blitzing. The Bills actually had some of the best pressure numbers in the league, but they didn't do it by blitzing, right? They're kind of middle of the road. I think they were like 15th or something in blitz percentage, but they got great pressure, and that's exactly how you disrupt Mahomes a little bit. So I'm not necessarily saying that he's going to have a bad game, but I am saying that here or there he might be vulnerable to throwing an interception. So my first thought when I looked at this one is see what the Mahomes interception prop line is, and maybe bet on Mahomes to throw an interception. Definitely thinking about Kelsey over yardage props. I think he's probably going to have a big game. I'm assuming, again, similar to the other game, that Buffalo will focus more on trying to contain Tyreek Hill. And if that's the case, then whether it's successful or not, Kelsey's going to have a big game. But even if they don't do that, I think he's primed for that. And so I'd be leaning, Kelsey yardage over, Mahomes to throw an interception. And as far as the game is concerned, I mean, I guess like everyone else, I'm thinking, how could this not be an over bet? Although I'm not going to do that. And as far as the side is concerned, yeah, I mean, statistically, I'd give the edge to Buffalo, but because of the situation and KC being at home, and I definitely wouldn't want to bet him here on the road. That would getting that few points. It looks the spread looks coin flippy to me. The total looks like kind of an obvious overplay, but very public, obviously, and I'm not going to take a shot with that. And so the props I was thinking about: Kelsey yardage over, and Mahomes to throw an interception, and maybe Stephon Diggs yardage over as well. Even though that's also super obvious, Kansas City's KC secondary is just is vulnerable. It's a problem. We don't know what their game plans are going to be. So I don't know, but that's what I was thinking. Jim, what do you think?
I think it all makes sense.
Does it?
So we got a little bit of reverb coming there. Pete, can I just ask you this before we put a bow on this?
Sure.
The Bills coming off playing perfect football at home against their biggest rival. How do you feel about backing a team after a situation like that, now traveling on the road?
Oh, I don't like it. But traveling on the road against whom? Against a mediocre team? Yeah, probably the high continues. But going on the road against a team with revenge. I mean, I know they don't have playoff revenge, but they lost at home this year. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be statistically. Buffalo is the play, but yeah, there's no. If you gave me a free play on the side, I would take KC, no question.
Oh, very, very interesting. Can't wait to see what player props you go to the window with. Follow our guy, Pistol Pete Loshak. He's at P Loshak on Twitter. We have Loshak in the bag every Tuesday, so we'll revisit the moves that he made here. But we have one giant game still left on the docket, Bills Chiefs. Woo-wee, is this a fun way to cap these 4 NFL games? Take it away here, a battle of the best in the AFC. A lot of people calling it the real, conference title game, and I think that's unfair to the Titans. But do take it away, Bills Chiefs.
Yeah, so this is the one I want. I'm gonna wait. This one I'm gonna enjoy to watch the most. Josh Allen's playing at such a high level. You got Mahomes against Allen. And I won't touch this over. For whatever reason, I have a funny little feeling in my gut this game might go under, even though you look at both these offenses. I view the Bills are going to do what they did last time out. They'll roll coverage to Hill. They'll roll coverage to Kelsey. I also sent you a TD prop I really like here, which is Pringle. I think Pringle will score for Kansas City because they are going to focus so much on Hill and Kelsey. And Pringle, I think last game had 2 touchdowns. I was on that, but I didn't play it here on our show. But I just view Pringle as coming into his own. And he will score in this game. And Buffalo will do everything they can with Kelsey and Hill. And it seems like to me, Jimmy, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Tyreek Hill has not been tearing up the stat sheets the last month. If I look at his output, Kelsey's been doing his thing, but Tyreek Hill, I know he had a little foot injury or something like that, but he hasn't had his normal earlier in the season 10 catch games, 100 yards. I've been noticing that with Hill. Have you noticed that?
Tyreek Hill's numbers have not been enormous, and he sort of seems to be feast or famine isn't the right term, but just because he's still going for 60 and 65 yards and a touchdown, so it's not famine, but it seems to be it's either 170 plus yards or 50 or 55, and so I completely see what you're saying. And we saw that with Kelsey for a little while now. Kelsey has stepped up. But if you looked at DeMarcus Robinson, you looked at Pringle, you looked at some of these guys, I mean, they're spreading the ball around in a pretty impressive fashion now. So I see why you're looking at Pringle props.
Alex brought up McKinnon. You know, you were a 49er guy, so you remember McKinnon there. And Clint being a Vikings guy, McKinnon was there. And great receiver out of the backfield. Not a guy you're going to give the ball to 20 times a game, but a nice complementary piece with the problems that KC's had at running back this year. As far as health goes, McKinnon's is good, nice piece here. I like Kansas City in this game. Originally, Jimmy, I was leaning towards Buffalo when I saw the 2.5 come out. I was like, geez, I thought Bills are playing really well. But then I always go back to, just like I said last week in that Cowboy 49er game, Cowboys killed the Eagles, and everybody just on the Cowboy. Look at how good they looked, but the Eagles had a lot of second stringers in. Bills absolutely demolish New England. Don't kick the ball. Don't have a punt in the game. And I bet you this line, I didn't see, there was probably not a look ahead on this one, but I would have guessed if that game was close in the Patriots, Kansas City's going to be 3.5 or 4 in this spot. But because of the way the Bills looked, they posted it under 3. I like Kansas City at home. I just think that the Bills, as much as I have some friends that are big Bills fans, I just don't know if they're ready for the big time. Give me Kansas City at home, where I know the team I'm going to get. The defense has been playing on another level for like the last 8 games of the season. They fixed their problems that they had in the first game that was 38-20. That was back when Kansas City Chiefs couldn't stop my mother from running through a hole in the line. So I just think this is a different Kansas City team with the defense, and Mahomes has kind of gotten used to he can dink and dunk now, or he can throw over the top like he did against the Steelers. I think you're going to find Buffalo is going to run 2 safeties deep, make him work his way down the field, which I think Mahomes will do. Josh Allen is the only scary part of it, Jimmy. He looks – how do you stop Josh Allen? And I will look at this again. Josh Allen's rushing prop, if that is anywhere near 40 to 45, I got to be on Josh Allen running the ball, because he's going to get 50 yards on the ground. The Chiefs are going to run a lot of man-to-man, and whenever you can see a defense that plays a lot of man-to-man and you have a running quarterback, take the rushing prop. And I think that's what I'm going to do, as long as it's not 50-some yards on the prop. If it's 40 to 45, I'll be on the over for his rushing yards.
Well, add your player props, tag me, I'll retweet it, and we'll have it locked in. But the Chiefs are available for you at -1.5 and -110. Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, they have moved to Bet365. Just moved to -1.5 and -110 with no VIG at all. So there you have the Chiefs -1.5, -110. We're going to get more player props from Zoe, and impressive season you've had here on the show. Zoe, you have done 6 weeks with us, and you're sitting 14-12 plus 0.86 units and destined for glory this weekend. And Noli has picked one other game to attack here, and that is the big one on Sunday night. Buffalo Bills at Kansas City Chiefs, rematch of last year's conference final, rematch of Week 5's 38-20 victory for the Buffalo Bills. And will this be the first year that Mahomes doesn't play in the conference final for the AFC? Let's hear how Noli gets paid here. Take it away, Bills Chiefs.
Yeah, let's go into this game right away. You talk about the Buffalo Bills, one of the top-ranked defenses in the NFL when you talk about passing yards allowed, points per game. But let's hold on a second. Let's look at who they've played. You look at 10 of their games have come against opponents in the bottom 10 in scoring. They only have 2 games versus opponents in top 10 passing teams. So their numbers, I think, are a little bit swayed. This isn't the New York Jets. This isn't Miami. This isn't Washington. This is Kansas City. So I think those numbers are a little bit swayed, especially when you look at what they've done against other teams. When you look at Tampa Bay being able to put up 33 points against them. So I think that defense, as good as they might be, not as good as what those numbers might indicate. And on the other side, for the Kansas City Chiefs, you look at their defense. They're 26 in net yards per pass attempt, 31st in yards per rush attempt at 4.8, 29th in sacks, 31st in yards after the catch. So pretty much get the ball in your hands and you'll be able to go against this Kansas City defense. Everybody talks about how improved they've been, but against who? Going against Denver, going against the Giants. This isn't exactly, Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers. So what I've seen, their improvement with the Chiefs doesn't really hold much validity to me when you're giving up 34 points against the Cincinnati Bengals. So I still think there's a lot of holes in the Chiefs defense. And when you look at this head-to-head matchups, 3 matchups, they're averaging for the Bills 304 total yards, for the Chiefs 308 yards. Each quarterback has 7 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions, 79 total points for the Bills, 84 for the Chiefs. I look at the last 2 matchups, the winning team being able to accumulate 38 total points. And when I look at a totals perspective, it's hard for me to look under. It's very, very difficult. The Bills this year versus playoff teams are 5-1 to the under. They're the number 8 passing team, number 3 in points per game, number 6 in plays per game. So they're looking to push a pace. And on the other side, Kansas City Chiefs are 5th in plays per game. They're 4th in points per game and 2nd in passing yards per game. So it's difficult for me to sit here and say it. And I mean, I don't know. I might even need a little bit of help to say it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I like the over here. I like the over.
Oh my God. For the first time in the history of pub sports radio, Noli Knows has bet an over, and it was so shocking that Sharpie dropped a dono to pub sports radio. That's it. You caught Sharpie by surprise. You caught us all by surprise. Slatsy says locusts are coming tomorrow. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow. You had to take a drink. You had to take a drink.
Hey, I couldn't spit it out.
Wow. Well, we do have good news for you, Noli. We do have good news. An over 54 is available at Pinnacle right now. Pinnacle hanging a 54 as we speak, and it is the lowest number on the board. So let's lock you in there. Over 54 at minus 108. Minus 108 for Noli. Those of you who are on Twitter, follow Noli Knows. He's been absolutely destroying college basketball, and we all pray that the MLB starts on time so you can see Noli do what he does best. But Noli Knows making his triumphant return. Slat says I couldn't spit it out. Classic from our guy. No, he took a swig and he still couldn't say it. Crystal Warren said, "Babe, I passed her window." There you have it. Noli Knows the first over in the history, because you'd always say it's not up to me to bet over.
It's not my job to bet overs, and it's really not. I leave those to others, but I had to.
Wow. We will have our eyes peeled at the final score of that game. All right, let's keep rolling. We move on to the most interesting game, Bills-Chiefs, last year's AFC final, and a huge game at Arrowhead, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 out west where you are, Ski. Take it away. Can't wait to hear your angle here, Bills-Chiefs.
Yeah, this one is, this is a tough game for sure. I will say, first of all, it's the other side of my teaser to the Packers. I teased the Bills up, and I just think, whichever team, if the Chiefs were plus 2.5, I'll probably be teasing the Chiefs up. I just think it's a one-score kind of game. I can't really see either team winning by more than a touchdown. So that was my general thinking, and just teasing this one up, that it's going to be a close game. As far as anything else, I was already leaning towards betting this game over. Like I'm kind of hinting at, I really trust both offenses. You saw the last meeting get up to 58 points. If Noli, I know Noli's going to try to find 50,000 reasons to bet the under. If he can't even get there with the under, and he's betting the over, that's enough push for me on my lean to go with the over too. So I'll add over 54.5. And like I said, this is the other side of my 6-point teaser.
Okay, well, first off, we got good news there because both you and Noli got a 54, which is a pretty crucial number, for a total perspective. So I like getting you guys under that 54.5. Again, 54 available at Pinnacle right now. So over 54 and not a lot of big, minus 108 at Pinnacle. And then we have you locking down part of your teaser. What is the number for the second half of your teaser that's going with the Packers pick'em?
I got 8.
Okay,
yeah,
so and that's
8.
Bills plus 8.
Yep, Bills plus 8, Packers at 0.
Ooh, that's a very interesting looking teaser. There we go. Wow.